What's going on? We are back. Things are getting interesting when it comes to this Garry Russell versus Devin Haney situation. Now, Devin Haney says he's done. That's it. It's over. It's a wrap. That he's gonna stop talking to Garry Russell because I guess quote because Garry Russell's taking too long and he's capping, and that he's just gonna move on, which pretty much means that he'll be facing Gamboa. Now, a couple of weeks ago, a couple of days ago, like yesterday, I think, Devin Coppinger said that when it came to that particular fight, that Gamboa held all the cards. I was thinking to myself, Gamboa, how does Gamboa hold all the cards? The only way Gamboa would hold all the cards is if he has a signed contract to fight Devin Haney. When then he would have to step aside, or they would have to pay him in order for him to do so. So I'm kind of actually wondering if they actually already have an actual signed contract to face that man. But let's put that to the side for a second. Um, I'm not shocked, if that's how things go. Just due to the fact that I don't believe that they're trying to fight Garry Russell at all anyway. I believe it's just what I like to call the Eddie Hearn blueprint. How you attach yourself to a fighter, you get a lot of interest, you get a lot of attention, and then you go ahead and fight somebody else instead. Same thing was done with Anthony Joshua, like Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. Same almost type of situation, where even if you get to the point where you're negotiating with that person, you just send them a contract that's kind of messed up that they're not going to obviously clearly sign. You know, where the money all of a sudden was funny, where then in the contract you had things like uh, you know, if the zone and matchroom agree to the fight. So obviously they're gonna send that back. They're not gonna agree to that. Oh, we were talking about December dates the whole time. Oh no, we need it done on November the 7th. We need it done November 7th. And if it starts getting too close to an agreement, you just say, "Oh, it's took too long. We have to move on." That like Dante Wilder. Oh, it took too long to agree to the flat fee, even though I agreed to it. You know, First there's no date and venue on it. Then after that, oh, it took too long. The WBA is mandated we fight somebody else. That's all. That's all you gotta. That's all you gotta basically do. And I believe that's all they're doing. The kid's been training, and he's been training to fight Gamboa. And I believe that's the first thing he was gonna fight all along, and just been a ruse, onto the fans. But it's a little bit of time. Maybe something will change, and I'll be proven wrong, which I would be ecstatic about. By the way, I would love to be proven wrong in this situation. I would love to be proven wrong, but just with everything that just with the history of Matchroom, just with a lot of the flip flopping that's been going on with Devin Haney. I mean Bill Haney with the things that he said for in the beginning, saying that the money they had the money and they got the money from the zone. Then it turned to the zone's not putting up the money. They got to put up their own money. Then to oh no, we're not putting up our own money, but we can give you money, and we're trying to give you Devin Haney's purse, and then we'll get our money in the back end. And then we also found out that it turns out that Garry Russell never overpriced himself previously before the pandemic. It was just that the zone didn't want to fight at all. They were willing to only put up $0 for that fight. This is coming from Bill Haney's mouth. You know, Us finding out that Mikey quote Garcia wasn't ducking him. That they said to them, they said that Mikey Garcia wasn't. They weren't ready for Mikey Garcia. Then when people had questions about that, it was like, well, Mikey Garcia's a $10 million fighter, so we have to get ourselves to that level. So if like he's a $10 million fighter, then how is Adrian Broner not a $10 million fighter who's consistently got higher gates and higher viewerships than Mikey Garcia for years? So how is he capping when he was asking for that amount, and when he was saying, "Hey, let's negotiate," he didn't negotiate. It turns out that they never tried to negotiate with Fortuna or get the Fortuna fight, even though they were saying that Fortuna was ducking them. So we find that out as well. We find out that actually when he was telling us that he had this multi-fight deal with the Zone, turns out, according to Bill Haney, Devin's not even signed to the Zone. He's just signed as a fighter to what's his name to Eddie Hearn, just as a fighter. So, and the more he talks, the more things come out. So because of that, I mean, you can't really believe anything that comes out of his mouth, and because of it, we can't believe that this fight's going to happen. I believe that he's being tutored by Eddie Hearn. I don't know why he's listening to that moron. This that plan has not the plan that he's putting that he's applying has never worked in the United States. Maybe it's worked in the UK, I'm sure, but in the United States it doesn't work. It's a plan. All it's gonna do at the end of the day is gonna alienate Devin Haney from the people that will be his fans. That's all it's gonna do. The people that will go pay for the fights to go to the there would be the gates when that's back when they can put people back in the venues again. They're the people that would buy the DAZN or buy the pay-per-views to see his fights. All the lies and you getting caught up in the lies is just gonna vilify him and turn people away from him. His fans, the demographic that would be his fans away from him. That's all it's gonna do. It's not gonna help him at all, whatsoever. None. None. When they did it with Anthony Joshua, all that happened is Anthony Joshua became vilified in the United States. And Deontay Wilder got pushed to a whole other level, when it comes to popularity. People still supported him even more. So you're working with a game plan that has never worked in the States. So to continue to try to follow it is moronic. It hasn't helped any of the other fighters that man has in the United States at all. None of them are going anywhere. None of them are progressing at all. Zero. The only person who had any kind of fights was Danny Jacobs, and that's because Canelo Alvarez chose him. Said, "Okay, I'll fight you." This got chosen. And that's been it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what's going on. And I understand Bill gets upset when people scrutinize his son. But at the end of the day, your son's supposedly a CEO of a company. He's supposedly a CEO of a promotional company. So when you're the CEO, you're going to get scrutinized. Just like people scrutinize Al Heyman, just like people scrutinize Eddie Hearn, just as people scrutinize Bob Arum. If you're a promoter, you're not above that. And you have to understand that. Just like people scrutinize Mayweather, Ellerby, that's what it is. If you don't want to take the bad that goes with it, don't try to grab the good. It's not a one-sided coin. But we'll see what happens. I think I know what's going to happen, but we'll see. For now, like, subscribe, share. I'm out.